The green man's here with the stag and the deer. The green man's here at this joyous time of year. The green man's here with the stag and the deer. The green man's here at this joyous time of year.
Hi all, I'm Colette and I'm here today from Witch Ways to talk about video number 8 in the 12 Days of Yule challenge for YouTube, started by Ivy the Occultist. So today we're talking about what beings do you work with in winter. And I want to say first of all that as a witch, I might be different than a lot of other people, maybe not. We'll see when this video comes out and I can see what other people have done. But I tend to work generally with the same beings year round. I might put a little bit more focus on some of them at certain times of year than at others, but generally I have sort of a pantheon that I personally work with. So also because I am dedicated to certain deities and work with certain deities, I work with them year round. And it really helps that a lot of those deities are land deities or sovereign deities. And so what that means is they hold the cycles of land within themselves and might wear different faces at different times of year. So I just continue to work with them. Another example would be a lot of people just work with ancestors at Samhain, and I work with my ancestors year round. I give them offerings as often as I can, often daily if my time allows. And I do focus on them more in the bottom half of the year, remembering them, finding more about them, finding their stories, doing a little research on them and the cultures that they came from. And I do that through the whole winter. So you've heard me mention the Green Man. He is very special to me. And I tend to work with him a lot more in the winter, even though he's sort of seen as a summer being from sort of summer solstice to winter solstice, and then the Oak King takes over. But some cultures look at it as being from equinox to equinox, and there's a little bit of debate about that. But I really associate the Green Man with the Holly King, and so I call on him in the depths of winter and at this time of year and give him special offerings on a regular basis. There are a few other deities that I tend to add in at this time of year, and one of them is the Colette, and she is an Irish hag goddess of the far north in Ireland. She's particularly popular in County Kerry and County Cork, and she is a shapeshifter that protects and loves animals. She walks around as a hag, hooded and cloaked with a staff that brings the ice and winter to the land, and she's said to have the ability to work with weather magic. And as you might guess, Norse tradition has a lot more ancestral gods and beings that have to do with snow and ice, but I'm not as familiar with them. I come in contact with a lot of people that do work with other beings at different times of year, and I encourage the students I work with to check out various beings from their lineage, to do some research on them, and to change what they work with seasonally, just so they can get an idea of the different feel of the year. So if they don't know any of them, what I ask them to do is to magically float the question that the deities associated with this time of year come to them, then have them do a little research online and just find names. And if any of those names resonate, maybe pick 5 or 6 names of winter beings that resonate, put them in a black bowl or a cauldron, and then at each moon cycle, pull out one that you want to get to know better and do some research. So one of the things I always tell people about getting to know beings is that you it's not a quick process. It takes time, and sometimes you may put a lot of effort into getting to know a deity and it just never clicks. So be aware that it's like building a friendship. It takes a lot of time of giving offerings, getting to know their hidden secrets that have been forgotten, doing research, reading books that might be dry and dull and boring that were stories of old folk tales about them, and trying to do a lot of intuitive dream search for working with deities that you're trying to get to know. And I think winter is an ideal time to do that because we're already so very introspective. So I want to thank you all for watching today's video. If there are deities that you are curious about, put them in the comments and I will try to make some videos about that over the next few months. Thanks so much. Stay safe and be well.